Hello, welcome to Career Advisor, an app based on LMI for all open data. This video will be divided into several parts, showing the different capabilities. Let's start with something standard. Here we can compare any two jobs with each other. This is achieved through naming and classification from the LMI dataset. So, let's for example pick IT engineer and compare this position to something from a completely different category like, let's say, a midwife. Here we go with a basic comparison. On the left-hand side you can see IT engineer in blue. You can also see that the unemployment rate is higher in this profession, represented by a bigger blue chart bar. We try to use different kinds of visual indicators to give you an intuitive and fast understanding of the data. Moving on to the next screen, we can see that in terms of salary, a midwife generally ranks higher than that of an IT engineer, but the level of actual difference varies across the regions. The LMI dataset also shows us the skill levels required for different job occupations, and a star is a pretty good way to show this. From this point we can press Read More to get descriptions of individual occupations, which brings us on to the next chapter. Here we have the official job descriptions provided by the UKCES, but we also asked our own team to include more interesting information. We particularly wanted to show career paths for different occupations, as it's often not very obvious what to do if, for instance, your dream is to become an airline pilot. Here we give some expanded salary data, as well as some further reading. Our goal is to combine the official descriptions with some deeper and more personal insights coming directly from representatives of different occupations. So, for instance, we include some Ask Me Anything interviews, as we believe that's the way to give our users the very essence of a given job. Sometimes we might also make movie recommendations about particular jobs, which might not be the source of the most accurate facts, but definitely a source of positive inspiration. Here we can compare the different sectors. Salary and skill information is obtained by calculating the averages of all LMI job data that creates a given sector. We can also have a brief look at the best and worst paid jobs in each selected industry. Similarly, we can also compare any job against the sector average as well as the market average to see how the selected job stands out of the crowd. Let's take a look at a regional map for the job of architect. We can see the numbers of architects in different regions of the UK, but how would the map of the UK look if the size of regions were proportional to the number of architects working there? Here's the answer. Now, let's look at the average salary that architects receive in different regions. And again, let's make it more intuitive by using the bubble map. That's actually an exceptional situation where London is not leading the category. You can see this right away by looking at the bubble colours. Now it becomes even more interesting. We can see that in northern regions architects earn less, but maybe the costs of living are also smaller there. So we decided to look at the housing market as a good indicator and check how many square feet you could buy for the average architect's salary in different regions. And here are the results on the bubble chart. If you want to verify how these calculations were made, just press the question mark to see the data sources we used. Last but not least, here's the regional unemployment data for architects. You can also tap on the bubble to get some further information about regions which might be helpful in making career choices. You can use several tools to help you make the right career choices. With the first one, we make use of the LMI skill data that's attached to each job. So first, you define your star by estimating what your general skills in different areas are. The scale starts from 4, as we notice that if your skills are below this level, you're actually not going to be qualified for any job. The app tells you what jobs you could be possibly training for and doing with this kind of skill set. But this comes with an additional motivational section. We show you what new jobs could possibly be unlocked for you if you can raise your skill by 1 in selected areas. You can also run one of our personality tests to see what your job predispositions are and get some recommendations. We prepared all the test content independently based on interviews with professionals working in different sectors. So we learnt, for example, that in order to be a good hairdresser, you not only have to be artistically gifted, but you should also be a good listener, as clients will often want to tell you stories. Here comes some more advanced stuff. We wanted to find correlations and dependencies between different data series. So, for example, we wanted to find out if unemployment rates are connected or not with salary levels, and what the level of any inverse correlation might be. You can check the answer inside the app. That's it for now. Thanks for bearing with us, but we haven't discussed everything yet. You'll need to play with our app to find more great features and make your own data discoveries.